What's up, y'all? You're tuned into yours truly, Mr. J. Martin, the Renaissance Man, and I'm on True Patriot Love. That's my platform where, all jokes aside, you can find them. Make sure you check us out, like and subscribe at tplmedia.ca. That's where all the action is. True Patriot Love. I'm your boy, Mr. J. Martin. What's up, y'all? It's yours truly, Mr. J. Martin, the Renaissance Man. And this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready to bring on two of my dear friends. And this is what we call All Jokes Aside. I will be bringing you All Jokes Aside on the True Patriot Love. And for all of you wanting to check us out, make sure you go to tplmedia.ca. So my guests today, two of my favorite friends and entertainment in the building. I'm bringing you entertainment with a flair. First, I'd like to introduce to you none other than Mr. Ian Andre Espinet, event coordinator, clothes designer, media designer in regards to flyer and bringing up your event to look good. What else do you do? Like, you are a renowned entrepreneur.
I'm just here, man. I'm just trying to keep up with you, my friend.
You're trying to be the humble one. Ian Andre Espinet, many things. We're going to talk about some of the things that he does and how he got here and when he decided to do this. And we're going to make it all funny, all jokes aside. None other than my brother from another mother, Mr. Kid Kut, the voice of the vibe. Kevin Keith is an entrepreneur as well. Many know that he started his career with one of the most famous groups known as Baby Blue Sound Crew that was tearing up the waves. They went into music production. He's done some entrepreneurship in the hair and design salon fashions. I'm respectable because this man bought his first house at 19 years old. I know I'm giving you all of the juice, but tell him hi and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Oh, tell them about myself. You just told them everything they need to know.
I told them a bit. I gave them a little overview, but go ahead.
Kid Kut, the voice of the vibe.
Yeah.
My whole thing is entertainment, arts. That's where I actually flourish.
Right.
I would say that. And my whole thing is nothing tried is nothing done. So
Facts.
just try a thing.
Try a thing. I'm going to jump right into it, man. You know, both of you put on events, but Ian is more known as the event coordinator, the promoter that puts on the events, and Kid Kut is the one that brings that energy to the event. So I'm going to ask you both. I'm going to ask Kid first. What separates a good host from a great host? A great DJ, a good DJ from a great DJ? Your perspective.
My perspective on that would be, I would think being knowledgeable of your surroundings.
Right.
So basically, if you understand where you're at, you can cater to the people to make them have a good time, whether you're a DJ or a host. Like,
correct.
You can't run into, like, say, you know, you're at a wedding and you're trying to treat it like a house party. It's not gonna.
Right.
It's not gonna work.
And what makes him a great DJ and a great host, when I know you hire them, Ian, what makes the difference in your event? Like, what's the difference between they're good, but greatness?
Their attention to detail. So we're cultural curators, right?
Right.
So those who practice versus those who don't, those who study music and do their crates versus those who don't, those who like study the crowd and they're not MJs, they look down to see what the crowd is saying,
right,
versus those who don't. That's the difference between good and great. It's like, do you have love for your craft or are you just doing this for the money?
It's true. It's true. So what really holds the power of the event? I'm going to ask you, is it the talent, the promoter, or the audience? I'm going to ask you first, Kid, because you get hired by them. So is it the talent, the promoter, or the audience? Which holds the power to make the event successful?
Ultimately, I believe it would be the audience, because if the audience is not there to support the promoter, then the promoter cannot pay the talent. That's the way I kind of look at it. Yeah, that's my answer. I'm going to go with that.
Your opinion, Ian, in regards to the same topic, same question?
In my opinion, it's a group effort.
Right.
The promoter comes up with the concepts, picks the DJs and MCs and talent that like fit the concept, and then like crafts it to the audience that they're trying to attract. And so, you know, people, birds of a feather kind of flock together. So people who, you know, like there are lifestyle promoters, there are music promoters, there are, you know what I mean? So like, I would say that all three of those elements have to be in place, as well as the venue and like where we're presenting the things to make a successful event.
Okay. So now we're making the event. We've got the top DJ. We've got the top MC. We have a lineup that we believe is going to make forth the event to be something special.
Mm.
Now I'm going to ask you again. Is it the consistency of doing it again that's more important, or the relationships that you develop between the people while you're building that consistency? So keeping it at the same level, or the relationships with your patrons? Because going through this, your patrons get older, they get younger, they don't like this, they like that. So when do you want to stick to the point of consistency, or the importance of the relationships of your fan base that brought you to where you are? Wow, I know it's a tough questions.
No, I mean,
but
every
more directing
promoter,
it at you. I know-
every promoter has to make a decision.
Yes.
Ultimately, when they decide like their audience is getting older, I think is what you're getting at, whether
Right.
they're going to stay up with the audience or try to attract younger audiences. And I mean, that is a personal decision. Many of us in our generation have decided to go up with our audiences, but in terms of relationships and consistency, it's both. It's not an and or. So it's like, and we didn't talk about branding, but like you create brands that attract a certain type of people, and those people know that when they go with the name that they can trust, that they'll be safe, and that the like, I don't even need to put Kid on a flyer because they know that that's the level of talent. I do put him on the flyer, but you know what I mean? Like that's the level of talent that they're coming with. So there's a trust that's built like with yourself, with your audience.
And with that being said, Kev, you get booked in so many different places. So you get to see the different levels, right? So you can predict a little bit better from what's coming. He's going to see an average of different all ages. And do you believe the relationships with the promoters are more important, or is it the consistency of that party or that vibe staying the same way?
For myself as an MC being in those environments,
Correct.
I would say for myself, I would say I only work with a few promoters, a handful of them, because I know what they're doing, how they're going to do it, and where I fit into those situations. I'm not like, out there trying to find random people who are just starting and stuff like that. Once in a while I come across certain, corporate stuff, and
Yes.
I'm always working in the corporate stuff and weddings and all that other stuff. So those things are more like new additions. Man, it's a hard question.
I know.
I don't really have a defined answer to give you
In regards to that. And I understand because
I could, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah.
it was more related to Ian in regards to having all the events that you do. Speaking of which, some of our viewers don't know all the events that you put together, collaborated over the years. Give us a little hint of some of the stuff you've worked on, which will lead to my next question.
I mean, countless brands over 25 years. Probably the most notable in Toronto would be Amnesia. Probably its sister party, Soul Kitchen. Big People Fete that I did with Dr. J was one of the brands that most people know, but like Icon, The One, White Sands, B-Boy Document, it goes on and on. Like it's 25 years, right? So we've produced events, 6 events, Caravan a weekend. We've done the Island. We've done
everything.
We've done Harborfront. We've done,
It's going to lead to my next question. Kid, give me some of the brands that you've associated with, helped develop, that you can put under your belt.
Personally, I've been working on a concept with my good friend Natalie. It's called Lyric.
Yes.
We also have Exhale.
And Lyric is a karaoke-like party.
It's a karaoke party.
Yes, which is taking swing nowadays. Go on.
Yeah, we're traveling with that one. And on top of that, we have Exhale, which is a boat cruise that we do every summer.
Yeah.
Sometimes we might do it twice. Sometimes we might do it once, depending on availability of the boat. And then I work with other phenomenal promoters, brands to bring
When Danced to Nice.
Oh yes, When Danced to Nice. You probably know them better than I do.
I know them because I watch what you guys are doing. We're entrepreneurs and we watch, which led to my question that is here. You named about 10 different brands, and I'm just being like, you named a couple brands here too. Put them all together, they're like 15 brands. Now we live in a country where it's seasonal, very seasonal.
Yep.
And so most of those brands work within that summer season. So when you've done all of the things as entrepreneurs that we have to do to keep afloat and make our families happy, what prevents you both from burnout? Like, what prevents you from burnout?
I don't know that there's any preventing burnout. You you can't outwork grief, and you can't like run from burnout. Like it's just like, it's a reality of life. Myself and Kid, like, I mean, we met in like as teenagers, literally,
Right.
When Black Star was born, like
Black Star.
when I started doing graphics and
Yes.
towels and these kind of things for Baby Blue and for Kid. And we went nonstop until we were forced to stop in the pandemonium, right? Like,
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Teenagers.
Mhm.
You're grown men now, families and houses, and we've moved on. So, like, how do you stay relevant then? Like, how do you stay relevant in these times when it's changing, and how do you level up to stay relevant? Like, how? Kid,
Staying relevant.
your name is Kid.
Yeah.
You're a grown
Just
man.
think young. No, to stay relevant, pretty much you just stay on top of what's happening in the media, culture, lifestyle. And if you gravitate to those kind of things, you're going to be relevant. Like if you refuse to stay on top of fashion and current events and music, you're going to.
So when did you stop thinking as a performer and then evolved into an owner?
Wow. I didn't stop. I'm always thinking, hey, I'm a performer.
Right.
People actually go to these events to forget the stresses of what's been happening all week or all month. They're like, hey, I'm out at an event. Let me just forget for, about 2 or 3 hours. Just that little glimpse of fantasy. You know what I mean? So my job is to help them forget that. Like, just let them enjoy themselves. Bring it back to like a happy place.
Okay.
Right? That's my thing.
I like that. But who is Kid Kut when the mic is off?
Oh, well, I guess I'm a father and I am still a creator. Like, when the microphone's off, that's just one aspect, but I'm always a creator, always working on art projects, whether it may be video or audio or production, always still, I guess I am who I am. You know what I mean? It's not like I just lie down in a room and play chess all day. No, I'm always doing it.
Right.
and he's a co-creator.
He's a creator. Oh my gosh. Okay. What's the difference in between being busy? Because we're all busy. We say we're all busy. I got to go here. I got to go here. At my house, they're always asking me, where are you going? I got to go here. What's the difference in being busy and where does that come into profitability?
So, I mean, for me, if you watch Jordan's career, I'm not Jordan, by the way.
Wow. What did I do? Well, if you watch
Chappelle.
Michael Jordan's career.
No, but like if you watch Jordan as he like evolved throughout his career, he wasn't dunking on everybody all the time.
Yeah.
His Kid knows, like when we were coming up, some of those years I was doing like 102 parties in a year.
Crazy.
Like I pick and choose my shots and get to the spot. Right. And it's probably a 3-pointer these days, as opposed to dunking on somebody's head all the time. And so efficiency over like busyness, right? Like, so I pick and choose where, you know what I mean? And I drop in and I drop out, you know what I mean? And it's possible for, like, to your profitability question, to do 10 parties that are more profitable than 102. Right?
Correct.
Right. So, yeah.
What's something about the entertainment industry that people would be shocked to learn that they wouldn't imagine happens? They see the entertainment industry, the cars roll up. Ian's been responsible for bringing some of the best actors to come through parties, and girls are like, oh my God, he's here. I don't know some of them offhand, but you'll tell us. What is the truth, the shocking truth behind the industry that people would be shocked to know?
You know what? I mean, the game is to be sold, not told. But I mean,
I'm not trying to get you to air out your secrets.
He has a Patreon page,
Only feet.
One day we'll be showing only feet.
It's not as glamorous as it looks. It's not, like what you'd see on the internet. You know, people like I fly every day like I'm in the Air Force. Like I'm like, there's a lot of lonely nights and like hard work and hours that people don't see that are off the clock. There are groupies, and Toronto has more male groupies than anywhere in the world, but there are not as many, like it's not as glamorous as you'd think it is. We're not partying for a living. We actually are. There's a price that you pay when you're born to entertain. Like,
Right.
you know, Kid pays that price like all the time. Like he comes off stage and he turns into Kevin.
Right.
Like, I've watched him like literally, all right, I'm going on stage.
Huh.
Right. And then he comes off and he deflates, right? Like there's
Right.
a price that you pay when you're like born to entertain, right? So it's not all fun and games and we're just drinking and like partying all day.
Right.
It's months and months and months of preparation for one event sometimes.
And that's the myth that's out there. There's a lot of promoters that put on events. And I think the biggest myth that a lot of people forget is that they look in there and they see 500 to 1,000 people and they're like, oh, there's 1,000 people there. So they paid $20 a head.
Yeah,
They
Michael
made
Dappa.
20,000.
Yeah.
And this place must only cost 1,000 to rent. So someone's getting away with the DJs.
Mhm.
I think the most misconception is when people look into an audience and believe that they can count the money that a certain individual is making, and it's far from the truth. There's so many fine-tuned things. I'm going to have a couple of these guys come out to the show and actually give me their piece on what they deal with it with entertainment. I'm very much enthralled in it. But all jokes aside, give me a case and scenario where you guys both thought you were going to make some money and lost your shirts.
Millennium.
What was yours? Millennium?
Like at the Millennium, remember this kid?
Oh, wow.
Luxor, going back, we were like, all right, here's one, NBA All-Star Weekend. Everybody
Oh,
thought
yes.
they were going to cake off, and I was like, I don't know, Emperor's New Clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one kid.
I was part of that All-Star Weekend where
Yes.
every promoter was throwing a party
Mhm.
and it was going to be super big. I was on like 3 or 4 nights and then the weather kicked in and
Oh, it did.
Oh yeah.
and it was like brick, and nobody went anywhere.
Mhm.
Right.
And a lot of parties were canceled.
Mhm.
I guess I didn't lose any money that I invested, but I lost out on money could have been made.
I was in the same All-Star Weekend, and we
were.
No, but we won. We're the ones that won.
Yeah, we
Remember,
did.
we're the only ones
Yeah.
that won in
Yeah.
the comedy sector because we had a comedy show and it was sold out. And then everyone was like, "Oh, Shaquille O'Neal's going to be here for the after party. You can't come in." And I'm like, "Listen, everyone's already here from the comedy show, so you're thinking shots fired. I care zero." I was told that Shaquille O'Neal, I can't party with him, but my show did well.
Gotta
But if
love
I
you.
can give my claim to fame, Ian, I'm surprised you didn't bring this up.
Oh no.
He the one where I got licked in my head. I've got licked in my head a couple times. So people that are watching that think promoters don't take it, we take it. Sometimes we take it. 2 of them I'm going to tell real quickly. One is
Kid wanted to say it so
Bobby
bad.
Brown.
Oh
Bobby
my
Brown.
God, why?
I got talked into doing Bobby Brown.
You got talked into.
Well, I did. We did cocked into a Bobby Brown coming to Toronto. This is before the late great Whitney Houston passed away, and he was still bad to the bit brown. And he wanted a certain amount of money, and we were told that the person would have someone would invest all the money for Bobby Brown. We just had to promote it, and we would get our money back. And the person lost his shirt because Bobby Brown said Whitney Houston stole his passport and didn't give it back to him. I'm like, then get a new passport. May she rest in peace, one of the greatest voices of all time. And then the guy that wanted his money back wasn't joking. And Ian, myself, and our third partner had to find like $7,000 out of nowhere to pay this guy repeatedly. And it was horrible. Horrible.
And at the end of the whole thing, the bank account was good to go solo.
It was more
good to go solo.
Oh my God.
Yo.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. People are watching and go, Bobby Brown came to Toronto.
So
He did not.
So here's a fun fact.
But I paid for him.
That was my first ever loss.
Really?
Yes. That was
Wow.
2008.
Well, that's
I
what brought us
started in
together.
1999. Yes.
Wow. Wow.
And we've been friends ever
We've
since.
been friends ever since.
I wasn't even involved. I came in
wasn't.
to save the party.
I was told that it was paid for. I just have to promote and do what I do best. Well, I did best to have to pay $7,000. I will never forget that. The last installment, I'm like, who is this man? Meet me at a mall. You see, that's how times have changed now. I want to kind of transition into that. Times they are changing. The other day I saw that Ian's son kept a party, and Ian, I was like, wow, what a changing of the guard. Before you were even born, your father was doing parties. Do you think our children kind of look at what we do and want to jump into it. I know what Kevin's kids are like. I know what mine are like. Tell us a little bit about
Not
that.
anymore. He did it. He was like, that was good enough for me.
He's
and I
done.
was like, yeah, I think he's done. I think like he learned some life lessons that I wanted him to learn. My mother's like, yo, boy, I'll follow you into this thing. And I was like, you got to let him learn some lessons. So he saw, the people that you were closest to may not be the ones to support you.
Right.
They might even be the first ones to be like, yo, what's this guy think he is, putting himself on a flyer?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he learned some lessons and he saw how hard it is, because I believe that he thinks money grows on literally on trees. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, Dad, like, the Union Air Force Ones. I'm like, not Air Force Ones, whatever, Jordan ones.
Yes.
I'm like, they're only 465. I'm like, yeah, no problem.
Only.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think after throwing that event, he realizes that what we do is not just pick up, look good, and go and,
I've known you, kid. You've been an entrepreneur your whole life, and you've got your kids now. Have any of them looked at how you work hard for your stuff? Has it been a different thing, or does anyone want to emulate being the new Kid Kut? Or what do you think from your kids? How have they drawn?
You know what? With my kids, I think they dabble in it.
Right.
I'm not sure if they're that devoted to the cause, but they're very talented kids. My twins, for sure, they play like at least 3 instruments each.
Right.
They sing, they rap.
Right.
They actually record music for people. Like, they're really talented kids. I just think that because they're so talented, the drive is probably not there.
Yeah, same thing.
A lot of times when, you have talented people, but they don't really have the drive. And then you have people with drive and the talent's there, but not as much. You know what I mean?
I get it.
So,
or mine who has both, but
yes,
he's not for this.
Not for this.
Like, he'll dance down the place. Kayla will kazomba down the place or whatever, but not for this. Yeah.
It's true. The same with mine. I got my 3 girls. They're all established and do their thing. But then I get a son and I'm like, what does he want to do? And he's different. He's not as extroverted as I am, but he does like a lot of the same things I do. And what we all want is the best for our kids. You know what I mean? We want them to be able to have what we didn't. Like our parents wanted us to have what we didn't. And it turns around and you're like, hey, what's going on here? Before you know it, they're off doing their own thing. Speaking of which, I want to be able to transition. Let's create, if we were, because we've been all over the world. Kid, I've seen you in Dubai. I've seen you on the islands. I've seen us all over the world. Create to me the best experience that if we had the opportunity to do, no expense budget holding us back, what would you do? What would you create?
What would I create?
Together.
In Toronto?
Yeah, we're here. A summer day.
Summer day. I would love to create the ultimate food and entertainment kind of vibe. Like, it would probably be like a multi-space, like back in the days, when government had different rooms going at the same time, and some people are on the patio, some people were in the big room. I would love to do one big branded event and have different sectors and just be like, have a lot of people just come out, be like, yo, there was 20,000 people out, and something like that.
Ian, describe
catering to everybody.
I mean, for me, it's ultimately what I was attempting, unfortunately, failure to launch, but like the Toronto Soul Music Festival, which would have brought together the best in R&B, but like also like the diaspora marketplace where Black business would have been. It was food, comedy, art, everything all in one place. So we were basically trying to create an Essence Music Festival here. But I don't know that emotion was imparted, but like that was the goal. Food trucks and environment, because like if you go to the States or if you listen to BLK, the old people know the young people music, the young people know the old people music, but here, because we don't have radio and we don't have these things, you don't see these multi-generational spaces, and that's what that was trying to create. So yeah, like that would be it for me. An outdoor music festival, food, comedy,
yes,
art,
all of it in comfort,
culinary, everything. Yeah.
And with that being said, we do the before I let go. That's the business. This is the business we're in. You ever really truthfully think of quitting? Like you reach that brink where you're like, am I too old? Do I do this anymore? Do we quit? Like, why do we do this? You ever get to that point?
You know what? Like you asked Kid a question about relevance. I don't believe in relevance. I believe in like evolution, right? So, I mean, like, you know, sometimes people go places and they're like, oh, the crowd's too young. And I was like, they're exactly where they're supposed to be. You're not. So there have to be spaces and places for, you know, like, so it's like, I've done 1,500 events, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like, but what am I supposed to be doing at my level apart from helping the Joshua Lucases and those kind of people, like the young people who are coming up? Your legacy is what you leave behind you, right? So it's like, you know, like, how do you look at those baby Vays and like these individuals who are coming up, even when you're not working with them directly, and like, you know, like that's the BDRB stuff that I'm doing. How do I get these people grants? How do I get them spaces?
Right.
So that they don't have to go through the stuff that we went through. So, I mean, I felt
in that
like,
regard, you feel you have enough to give to stop quitting right now.
Yeah. Like,
so
I mean, like, I don't have to, you know, like, I don't have anything to prove in terms of doing another 300 person party.
Right.
Right. But there's legislation that needs to be changed so that Kid Kut can get, like, if there's a pandemonium, that there's like, there's grant funding for everybody with an electric guitar, and for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, like,
Do you feel like ever quitting, my brother?
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, definitely. No, I never really thought of quitting, but I just knew that, you know, as you get older, people, you know, you stop seeing them around.
Right.
Like, they're not around anymore. So I was like, oh, I guess that's what you're supposed to do. But somehow I've been blessed that as I get older, I lock in with more gigs and more events, and there's more opportunities coming my way. So, I think I'm just gonna go to the wheel. Go to the wheels fall off.
We create the culture, man.
And it's the same for me as a comedian. They're like, hey, were you ever going to retire? Well, funny never has an age on it. I'm lucky to know that the oldest in the industry can still be funny. And I question myself with, all right, am I doing it? But we unlearn and we relearn to be able to, you know, be relevant with what's going on. So being said, and I say this is Toronto represented. This is known, you know, True Patriot love throughout the whole country, but we live here in Toronto, which I believe is the screw face, which they call screw face capital of the world. Why is that? Why do we eat our own? Why do we not give our flowers to our own talent that comes out of here? I'm on a show here called True Patriot Love. And why do we not show love to our own talented people within our industries?
I don't know. I think it's probably the mentality of the crabs in a bucket. You know what I mean? You don't really want to see that next person do better than you kind of vibe.
Until they leave?
And then when they leave, they're like, oh, they were better. Okay, yeah, man. I supported them.
Right.
As soon as they leave and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, everybody's like, yo, I helped them along. Right. Yeah, I knew we'd always make it. But I guess people, they don't want to see your neighbor have a better lawn than you, period.
Your opinion in that regard?
It is the neighbor, but I think it's the American neighbor. We're like the little brothers, right?
Right.
And so we've always had this like mentality that whether we believe it or not, it's like, you know, most of the time when we touch a microphone, we put on an American accent or whatever the case is, right? Like that is better. Like when you make it over there, you've made it.
Right.
And in terms of the crabs in a bucket thing, like, yeah, like, you know, sadly crabs don't belong in buckets, but you know what I mean? Like, but like, it is true. Like, you know, people don't want to see you do well until you don't, as long as you're not doing better than they are. Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know,
okay. With that being said, all jokes aside, what advice would you give to anybody that's coming up on the come up? This industry, I've said it, we are the screwface capital of the world. We got through it barely. What advice would you give to an up and coming person that does what you do in your career? In a career like yours. Yeah.
Well, I would look at it from a point of view, like just put one foot in front of the other one and stay consistent. Just stay consistent. Keep doing it. You'll look back at some point and be like, hey, I've traveled a long distance.
I've gone that way. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, right now you can't see it. Someone's like, oh my gosh, that's a long way. I don't even, and then, you know, failure to start.
Happening before you know it.
Yeah.
You, Ian, advice you'd give to someone who wants to do a career similar to your career that's coming in right now? You mentioned
on your show.
He's like, don't effing do it.
No. I'm like,
run for your life.
Don't be
hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think it's pretty simple. It's like be a good person.
Right.
Don't be a piece of shit.
Yes.
Right. Pay people. Like
Yes.
your reputation, your name is your reputation.
Correct.
Consistency, passion.
Yes.
You know, and try to make the place a better place than it was before you came.
Hey,
Right? Like,
those are the words there from my man and Andre Espinet. Espinet. So that's a legacy. Both of us, all of us, we spend a short time on this earth. We always want to leave the earth better than we came in. But if we were to say, what legacy would you like Kid Kut to leave on people when you leave this earth? Would you like people to say about you? I don't want to be morbid, but I want you to say, what would you like to know? Everyone thinks of my funeral. I'd love to be able to watch it from heaven or wherever we are. Wherever we are. Or from hell, you're condemned. But, you know, all truth be told, what would you like them to say about you?
Man, I haven't really thought about it, but maybe he was a trailblazer and he worked really hard and he stayed consistent at what he was doing. And he made a lot of people smile.
Nice. What do you want them to say about you, Ian? And you're like, I hope these guys get it right. I'll be watching. What would you have them say about you?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like other people's opinion is none of my business, but I mean, I would hope that I'm going to say it and Kid's going to say pause. I hope that I touch some people along the way that don't bother. You know, like I hoped along the way that like I inspired some people, like, you know, good or bad, like, you know, you had asked about like legacy and, you know, like when I teach at TMU or at Humber or wherever, like I tell them like, don't let anybody write your narrative. Like you can be the first, don't be the second Kid Kut, be the first, whoever you are. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's just like you don't have to be like restrained by the constraints of the society. You know, we're West Indian. My dad was like, what kind of foolishness? Go ahead and get a job, Guybridge, like, and don't stay in the job for 10 years and don't move because it shows inconsistency. Yeah. This is a hobby. This is not a, you know, so like you can build your own narrative and like create something where something's never been created. Like, you know, before like Amnesia had an album deal, it's because Baby Blue had an album deal. Correct. Because I never thought that we could, like a party could have an album deal until I saw a DJ. I was like, I never thought a DJ could get an album deal. Right. So like that was my inspiration for going to Universal to look for that album deal. Right. You know what I mean?
I love that. I love that.
Be the first you.
Be the first you.
Yeah.
If I would do it, and I'm going to say it, I would love my legacy to be left that I worked hard, like you both said, made people smile, like you said. I was like, those are check marks on my list. Just being able to be happy to know that guy was different. And it's funny, people, you know, Jay Martin, where this Renaissance man came. I didn't give myself the name. It was given by Eddie Williams, but I really personified.
Eddie.
I won't do Eddie. Eddie Williams. I won't. You can't peer pressure me on camera. You cannot ruin me on my show. That being said, no, Renaissance man allows me to be a lot of things and wear a lot of hats. My dad always used to say, "You're a jack of all trades, master of none." I proved him wrong. I'm a master in a lot of areas. That's what a Renaissance man does. If I'm throwing a party or keeping them laughing and doing comedy, that would be my legacy. I want to leave a legacy. That's why we're doing this. And for our families that know that we don't have the regular 9 to 5, we're out here trying to leave a legacy. That makes it make sense. So before I actually get wrapped up and going, I know you all have very productive days. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming on to True Patriot Love. My podcast is All Jokes Aside. Make sure you keep it locked here when you are on tplmedia.com. But before we go, let us know some upcoming events that you guys are attached to and where we can find you.
This year, Lyric, we're going to be actually touring throughout the States.
Nice.
We have a couple dates slotted for Toronto. Me and you got a good thing coming up. I'll let you talk about it in the days to come.
Yes, we do.
I'll be out every summertime. I will be out for Caravana or Toronto Carnival, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
We still call it
Legally,
Caravana.
you can call it what you have to until the forces come in, and I know some of them personally. Go ahead. Yes.
I'm gonna be out every weekend. I'm gonna be out doing my thing, just living in the moment, inspiring other people to live in the moment and have some fun and forget the mundane everyday life.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yourself, Ian, what can we look forward to and how can they?
I'll be
Check
back
out
for
you.
summer.
Yeah.
Right now I'm busy with that breaking down racial barriers stuff.
Mhm.
Finishing a study by shortly. Soul Kitchen returns.
Right.
New resident home at Penthouse.
Nice.
Kid is on the May 2-4 long weekend edition with skits.
Yes.
We will be, the new volume is called Interpretations, 10 DJs, unique perspectives, infinite possibilities. So every DJ will play it their own way for the next little while, for the next 10.
Perfect.
B-Boy Document returns this year. Carpe Diem returns this year.
Look at you.
Caravana, White Sands, Kid is on that as well.
You're everywhere.
Yeah, well, Kid's everywhere always.
God.
He's at the opening of an envelope.
Yes, he's at the opening of an envelope. All jokes aside.
Kid's very selective. I'm just playing around.
Yeah.
Kid's on all the best parties.
Yes.
I will be at When Dance Did Nice.
When Dance Did Nice.
Love those guys.
New stuff coming. We are in Series A for Toronto Soul Music Festival for that, and there's a lot of stuff coming. Yeah.
See, people, we don't sit home and not do anything.
Yeah,
we
man.
actually have some fun. As Kevin alluded to, I'm very, 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 very proud. We're going to be announcing it this weekend. We're all smiling. We had created a brand in association with the Rama Gaming House in Mississauga that's going to be called Soul Food Sundays. And I mean, we hired on Kid to be our music coordinator, director, to curate DJ selections of DJs. Each and every Sunday we will be there. Members will be a membership in there, but the membership is very inexpensive. It comes with a drink. And the restaurant will be there with my little brother, the Smokehouse. It's going to be amazing. We will have soul food each and every Sunday, music, drones, just a vibe. When the winters are so long in this country, it's so nice to know that we're going to have something to look forward to. So each and every Sunday, we will be having Soul Food Sundays over at Rama Gaming House. It's going to be nothing short of amazing. So keep it locked. We thank you for listening to our podcast this week. Oh, man, it's going to be nice. I'm thanking my two guests, Ian Andre Espinet and the amazing Kid Kut, the voice of the vibe. I'm yours truly, Mr. J. Martin, the Renaissance Band, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Patriotic means looking out for each other and fixing things together.
True patriotism is being in the country you love, surrounded by people you love, and great weather.
Being a patriot is being a part of your community and caring for it.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, patriotism is the one thing we all share.
It's okay to be critical of government and still be a patriot.
It's gratitude to your country.
Of course I'm a patriot. I'm Canadian. It's my home.
Well, actually, true patriot love is the mission.